Welcome on into Sports Memo Today. It's the last show for us here on Sports Memo Today. Before the Super Bowl goes, it's Chiefs, it's Eagles. Let us know how you're going to be betting it. I know the way my two guys coming on here today are going to be betting it is cavalcade of props, I guess we'll say. You're here for Sports Memo Today. I'm your host, Dan Alexander, and we're here to get you actionable information in 30 minutes or less. You get it every Tuesday and Thursday right here on the Wager Talk and Sports Memo YouTube channels. Who do I have joining me today? As I alluded to, it's our Thursday crew that we've been joined pretty much every Thursday all throughout the football season, so we had to end it the way that we started. Eric Pauly going to be batting leadoff. He's got two plays for you in Super Bowl 57, and Matt Josephs is going deep as he always does. We got a cross-sport prop he's going to end the show with that I just love. And then we're also going to be talking some fourth down conversions with my man, Matt Joseph. So without any further ado, it's Super Bowl week, so let's get right on into it with the action. And Eric Pauly's joining me. And Eric, I know, man, you have to be sad to see this football season go because it was just units galore for your first season here with Sports Memo, man. I love to see it. How's it going, brother?
It's going great. So as we were talking a little bit before the show, it's the bittersweet feeling like we've talked about even on the show. Like, yes, on one hand, it's sad to see my favorite sport to bet on being gone, and now I have to wait such a long time to get back to it. On the other hand, I'm burnt out. It's been a long season. We're at the final stretch. It's a little bit of a mental break. Never killed anybody.
Yeah, and I think while my prop sheet is going to be extremely long, I will say we were able to pick up some units in football season. So just remember, like so many of these great cappers caution you, this is just one game. It's easy to load up. If you really want to have fun doing the props, just download the Wager Talk prop sheet, and then you don't have to use your whole entire bankroll. You use $10, $25 with people at your party. That's the way to do it right there. And it's a no-vig zone if you do it that way too. So EP, let's get into it, man. I think this one might give away a little bit who you like in the game, but you have an MVP play for us to maybe get some plus money after those opportunities kind of dried up as far as betting either team on the money line. How are you betting this one?
Yeah, so I already took zero point 0.5 units to Kansas City Chiefs plus 115 right around when it opened. Tried to snag a 120, moved them too quickly, sold for a 115, and there actually is one available now, but not at a very widely available book. So definitely some value there. So now, if you want some value, where I would look is if you like the Kansas City Chiefs, I would just take a look at Patrick Mahomes MVP plus 130. It seems pretty simple, but the way that I'm viewing this game is like, yes, you could have a long shots and go for a defensive player because, yes, the Eagles' defensive line has a massive advantage over the Chiefs' offensive line. So if you like a defensive player to maybe have a couple of sacks, get lucky, have a forced fumble, or maybe pick off Pat Mahomes and go to the crib, that's really not that likely. The odds show that, of course. So I'd rather go with the best player in football going against, yes, currently the number one rated pass defense. But when you take a look at the quarterbacks they played this season, I am not impressed by that level of competition. I know strength of schedule has been a huge debate for not just the Eagles, but for both these teams. But again, the best quarterback that the Eagles have played was Aaron Rodgers, and he missed most of that game or part of that game. And then Dak Prescott has, what we saw toward the end of the season, his status as a great quarterback is very debatable. So best player in the league, plus 130, not to overthink it. Small wager recommended on Mahomes to take home the MVP. Again, I see the thoughts and ideas of some defensive players because it's not a shoo-in for a quarterback to win Super Bowl MVP. But at the same time, if it's going to be an offensive player, the quarterback's going to be facilitating that. If it's a defensive player, you're banking on a crazy amount of a forced fumble, a pick six, two sacks from the same player to get that. So I'm just going to go with Mahomes plus 130 plus odds there.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, if you think the game is going to go over and then you're also talking yourself into a defensive player to win MVP, you're kind of talking out of two sides of your mouth. If it's an over game, it's probably because the offenses are high scoring. Even if you do have a big play like that, I think it could be hard to get home. And also 7 years since we've seen a defensive player get the nod. It was Von Miller who was last to do it. So you would have to have one heck of a game, especially with the offensive firepower that figures to be shown with a round 51 point total. All right, so Man, I don't like the first play that you're giving up. I mean, I like the reasoning behind it. Don't get me wrong, but I would have liked to have the guy who was picking up units like crazy over at sportsmemo.com on my birds, but that's neither here nor there. This second play that you have for the folks, though, I do like a little bit more because you have an anytime touchdown scorer and one of the swaggiest guys in the league to potentially be getting in the end zone. So, who are you thinking is going to reach the end zone for my Philadelphia Eagles?
I think AJ Brown is a fantastic candidate to reach the end zone. I got it at plus 135, and I think that number is very valid. Just it's not going to say there's crazy amounts of value because I think it's just priced properly. And if I had to bet, which I am, I'm expecting AJ Brown to get into the end zone. Chiefs defense, no secret, last in the NFL in touchdowns allowed through the air, 30th also in passing attempts, and something that we do know about Nick Sirianni and his Eagles is while, of course, they have a team that's built to run, they have a team that's just built to play offense. If your defense is great against the run, they'll throw it on you. If your defense is against the pass, they'll run the ball down your throat. They don't mind. AJ Brown, in terms of size and skill, I mean, skill doesn't need to be debated. You just have to put on the film and watch any weekend. He's amazing. But the Chiefs, they let up so many touchdowns to some big body receivers like Mike Williams, Devontae Adams, and their inability to cover like Stephon Diggs. Like their number one receivers, especially number one receivers that are big, strong, physical guys like AJ Brown are the ones who generally hit pay dirt against this team. Obviously, they're going to have their eyes on Brown because he is their best option, but Devonta Smith is also capable receiver, so they can't really focus in solely on Brown. I think he easily can break one off here against, again, a weak secondary. The last touchdown passes. AJ Brown, hell of a player, and I think he's going to score a touchdown for the Birds this weekend.
And AJ Brown, I'm sure, does not want to get in the end zone wants to get in the end zone more than anyone. He's only scored one touchdown in the last 6 games, and in the 3 straight games, and 2 of those being playoff games, AJ Brown has not reached pay dirt. So I'm sure there's been some conversations. Him and Jalen Hurts are pretty good friends. Sure he's saying, I always wanted to get to a Super Bowl, man. If you see me in single coverage, AJ, always open. 1K there. So AJ Brown, anytime touchdown, my man. This has been an absolute pleasure having you come on all football season long. As we head on into baseball, you know I'm going to be bringing you back here on Sports Memo today as well. But when people head on over for the last time to sm.buzz/EP to ride with Eric Pauly's NFL picks, what kind of stuff are they going to find loaded already, brother?
Yeah, I want to thank you, Dan, for an amazing season, and certainly we'll be back talking baseball even soon because we have some baseball long team totals, awards, and whatnot that are now out and ready to go. So we'll be certainly digging into those shortly. But I'm going to put together a prop package. So right now on the season, I went up 58.13 units, 63.5 winning percentage, and a 28.1% return on investment. I've done mostly all I can do this season. I have that 0.5 unit bet on the Chiefs locked in for Sports Memo clients already. So if you were on All Access, you would have hopefully gotten that plus 115 with me last Sunday after that championship game concluded. But I'm going to have all my props in one place. Don't expect an overload here. I'm not looking to have too much exposure on this game since I do like Mahomes and the Chiefs to win, but I also certainly see the argument for the Birds. So going to have a light pack of props, going to keep it very cheap for everybody. Tune in. Let's end the season well together, and looking forward to getting ready for baseball season.
That's Eric Pauly, the guy who right here on Sports Memo Today told you in the summer, hey, go ahead and bet Sauce Gardner to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. Probably a ticket that he's going to be cashing this evening when the awards are announced. So always love talking to my man EP. Go over there and grab his Super Bowl plays right this moment. You can also get Super Bowl to Super Bowl All Access for both Eric Pauly and my next guest, Matt Josephs. You can head on over to their pages. No code needed. Lock in all sports, all plays, all 5% best bets, top rated plays through next year's Super Bowl, just $11.99. That's savings of over $800. Check that out right now. Your access starts the second that you buy it, so you'll get all their Super Bowl picks and get set up through next year's Super Bowl as well. Well, you know I had to end the week with the man himself, Matt Josephs. Head on over to sm.buzz/MJ. Check out his plays on the Super Bowl today and locked and loaded already. But Matt, you and I both have been super confident about this Philadelphia Eagles team heading into this game against the Chiefs, but I don't know about you. The closer that it gets to the game, I'm starting to get a little bit nervous. Are you still steadfast in the confidence, or am I just like getting cold feet? Like what's happening to me right now, Matt?
No, I'm getting more nervous. There's a lot of people
Okay.
picking us. I much like being the underdog more. I much liked it 5 years where no one thought we were going to win. Now a lot of people think we're going to win, and we usually don't perform well in that certain situation. So, yeah, definitely getting a little more nervous as the week goes along.
All right, so listeners and viewers of the show, go bet the Chiefs and tell everybody that you know to bet the Chiefs. Let's start getting some difference in the marketplace, so Matt and I can calm down on this agita that we have going. All right, Matt, huge show coming tomorrow. We'll talk about it before we hop up with Prop It Up. You guys always look forward to and are super prepared every week for the NFL slate, but with the prop offerings, can't wait for tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Prop It Up with Matt Josephs, Andy Lang, and Andrew McGinnis. I'm going to say take the over on any analysis that Andrew McGinnis is giving out. Watch the show tomorrow and you'll know what I'm talking about. But Matt, let's get into some props here for the folks. You wanted to start taking a look at maybe some fourth down conversions. So I'll pass the mic off to you. What are we thinking?
So when it comes to betting the Super Bowl props, there's kind of like two categories that I have. It's, the props that I kind of like, the ones that are in the minus 15, minus 120 areas that, you're going to put your normal unit size on. And then there's going to be these sprinkle bets that you put less than a unit on, and you hope to hit one or two of them and you cover your wages and everything, or you simply go over because you hit a lot of these. So this is one of those sprinkle bets here. And I'm going to take over 1.5 fourth down conversions for the Philadelphia Eagles. It's plus 190. Which is why it's a sprinkle bet, because I absolutely love it. If you look at the Eagles here, they are fourth in the NFL in fourth down conversions. Nick Sirianni is very ambitious when it comes to that. They converted all three of them in the postseason. They went 22 of 32 in the regular season, which averages out to just under, around 1.5 per game, maybe a little bit more than that. My math is not necessarily the greatest in that aspect. And you look at the Chiefs, they're tied for the most in the NFL in fourth downs allowed. We know the Eagles have a quarterback sneak play that they run on fourth down that has a lot of success. So you expect at least one of those. This is not a game where you're going to be settling for field goals. This is a game where you're going to have to keep the ball away from the opposition. You're going to have to go on some longer drives here. So at plus 190, I think it's really worth a sprinkle here to take a look at the Eagles, who are notoriously aggressive at over 1.5 fourth down conversions for the game on Sunday.
Yeah, I really like that breakdown on that one. And Matt, in the NFC Championship game, you saved my bankroll a little bit when I threw at you, hey, this total field goal prop seems a little bit high. You had the numbers for me. So I know you're the kicking guru on Prop It Up. I'm wondering, does that carry over to punting? Because hearing you with that breakdown, talking about fourth down conversions, it almost makes me think a play that I gave out on Tuesday's show might be a little bit correlated. It's the total punts in the game. And I know that this has seen a lot of sharp action, so it's probably dried up, but it's under 7.5. So if you're thinking there's going to be fourth down conversions, you're thinking that there could be maybe some scoring as well. That under 7.5 punts that was given out, a decent look, or does the kicking guru stop once they take it off of the tee?
Oh no, my biggest wager is a punting prop, and it's not in a good place right now. I got it at a good number. It's in like the minus 170s now, so I can't necessarily give it out because it's just the juice is ridiculous. But along those same lines, my best bet was actually a punting prop that I loved, and this is the key here, Dan, and this is what we're going to talk about tomorrow. Like searching through the list and going over every single one out there, because the books can't get every one of these props right. And sometimes there's one out there that you kind of like and you hone in on. So the key is to kind of just read the whole list. And certainly if you're betting overs, you should have gotten in already, because a lot of the numbers that were there on open are gone. If you like unders, you wait until the kickoff, because no one's going to Super Bowl parties and rooting for unders.
Man, you don't get breakdowns like that anywhere. The prop market is one that Matt Joseph specializes in. Grab his plays loaded right now, sm.buzz/MJ. One thing that I love when the Super Bowl rolls around, we talked about just the massive offerings that they have. I love it how they do these cross-sport props. And this is an all-Philadelphia cross-sport prop. What do you have for the folks here? The second and actually final free play of Super Bowl week and the NFL season right here on Sports Memo Today.
Yeah, I found this one on Caesars. Other books have this in some sort of alteration, sort of thing. So stick with me here for a moment. That's why it's also good we have the graphic for this. I am taking the Flyers goaltender saves at -1.5 to be larger than AJ Brown's longest reception +1.5. So basically, the numbers are kind of like this. I looked it up because I'm not the NHL guy. Andrew's the NHL guy, but basically, the Kraken, who they're playing on that day, they average around 29, 30 shots on goal. The Flyers are allowing about 30 to 32 shots on goal. So kind of put that number around 30 here. The last couple weeks, we've seen two things. A.J. Brown's not going as deep, and the connection between Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown is not as good. Jalen's struggled a little bit throwing the deeper ball here, so I'm going to take a shot here that the Flyers have about 30 saves or so, and that A.J. Brown's not going to have a reception over 28 yards here. It's something that I thought, and once again, you're getting a decent price here at even money. Look, if this was -150, -160, I wouldn't even look at it. I'm not looking at something like that. But at even money here, I'm willing to take a shot here. So I'm taking the Flyers goalie saves at -1.5 to be more than A.J. Brown's longest reception +1.5.
Love the cross sports stuff there. A fun one for maybe a little bit of sprinkle. And as you said, you don't got to lay juice to it. Even money play that you can find out there over at Caesars. Well, Matt, I alluded to the fact that people can grab your prop package for the Super Bowl already. I'm sure that's locked and loaded. What are they going to find over at your page, sm.buzz/MJ?
Yeah, there's a couple of props that are up there now, including some of the ones that, I got in early on. So that's up on the page. And then college basketball, I've got a nice little 3-pack up there for tonight. And certainly as we head towards the weekend, there'll be more college basketball, a nice little long-term run in the sport.
Love to see it, especially as football is coming to a close. One more game for you, unless you're an XFL fan. Who knows? We'll see who we'll have on Sports Memo today. Maybe head on over to Wager Talk Extra on the Wager Talk YouTube channel if you need some XFL breakdowns. But as Matt was saying there, a lot of the time, especially in these prop markets, this juice will move rather quickly. So what's a way to avoid that? Lock in the all sports, all access, all plays, all best bets until Super Bowl of the next year from your favorite handicapper for just $11.99. Save yourself $800. Get it locked in now. Your bonus starts immediately. So why grab that prop package individually? Roll with mid-major Matt throughout basketball season as well. So that's going to do it for us. Can't believe it's our final show talking NFL here on Sports Memo today. If you enjoy the show, all we ask you to do, hit that like button, hit subscribe so you never miss any of the great shows here at Sports Memo and Wager Talk TV. And huge thanks to Eric, Pauly, and Matt Josephs all year long getting you winners here in the NFL. Of course, my producer behind the scenes, Eric, doing a terrific job. I'm Dan Alexander. And win or lose for my Philadelphia Eagles, we'll be right back here on Tuesday, either for a therapy session for me or maybe I'll do a little victory lap. We'll find out on Tuesday's edition only on Sports Memo Today. Best of luck in the Super Bowl.